Lovely viewers, gather around because today's story is one that has the entire internet buzzing, melting, swooning, and replaying every tiny detail like it's the most romantic K-drama ever written. Imagine this. Song Hye Kyo, after the life-changing moment of delivering her precious twins, is resting in the soft, warm glow of a private hospital suite. And then Lee Min-ho, the man whose love story with her has enchanted millions across the world, steps forward with a first gift so breathtaking, so personal, and so symbolic that fans cannot stop talking about it. And today, I'm taking you right into that moment. Close enough for you to feel the emotion, the joy, the surprise, the love, and the absolute fairy tale that unfolded. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into this long, interactive, heart-melting journey together. Get cozy, lovely viewers, because you're about to feel like you were right there witnessing the moment Lee Min-ho presented his unforgettable gift to the woman who just gave him the biggest blessing of his life. His twins. The story begins moments after the delivery. The atmosphere in the private suite was a mixture of relief, joy, soft cries from the two newborns, and the hushed, emotional laughter of nurses who had just witnessed a moment of deep love between two of Korea's biggest stars. Everyone felt the significance of what had just happened. Song Hye Kyo, exhausted but glowing in that beautiful natural post-birth warmth, rested with her twins cradled on each side of her. She looked peaceful, maternal, elegant, and completely wrapped in the newness of this chapter. Enter Lee Min-ho. Eyes soft, voice quiet, steps careful. People who were present said he kept pausing at the door as if he needed to gather himself emotionally, like he was overwhelmed at the sight of the three most precious people in his world. He wasn't the superstar actor at that moment. He wasn't the global heartthrob. He wasn't the man with millions of followers. He was just a new father, moved beyond words, seeing the love of his life holding the children they created together. The nurses later whispered that his eyes turned glassy. His jaw tightened slightly, and he let out this deep, emotional exhale before approaching the bed. And that exact moment, those few seconds, was when fans would later say they felt something shift in history. He approached her quietly. Song Hye Kyo, though tired, lifted her eyes and smiled. It was soft, the kind of smile that only comes from pure love and total trust. Then he did something unexpected, something fans replayed endlessly once the behind-the-scenes reports began circulating. He kissed her forehead, very gently, slowly, like he was thanking her without words. And then, after a moment of pure stillness, he pulled out the gift. Lovely viewers, this moment right here is why the internet is swooning. Because this wasn't just any luxurious, flashy gift. This wasn't about diamonds for show or wealth for bragging rights. This gift had depth, emotion, symbolism, and it came from a place of deep intention. A place only someone who truly, deeply loves would reach for. Lee Min-ho had prepared something long before the delivery day. He wanted his first gift to represent everything. Gratitude, commitment, admiration, partnership, history, future, and above all, his promise as a husband and father. He knew Song Hye Kyo valued sincerity over extravagance. So yes, the gift was luxurious, but the meaning behind it carried the weight of a lifetime. What did he give her, you ask? A custom, handcrafted, twin symbol bracelet and necklace set designed with the most intricate personal details ever seen in a celebrity gift. But let's not jump too fast. Let me paint the entire moment for you because eyewitnesses say Song Hye Kyo gasped, not because of the price but because of the meaning. The box was velvet white, embossed with the initials of their twins. Initials fans don't know yet, but insiders said they appear subtly in gold engraving. Lee Min-ho placed the box on her lap with a smile that fans described as soft enough to melt steel. He sat beside her and whispered something that many believe was, "You made me the happiest man today." Song Hye Kyo opened the box slowly, still recovering from the rush of birth, and when she saw the contents, she froze. Her eyes filled instantly. Her hand reached for her mouth. She laughed, shocked, emotional, overwhelmed, and then she burst into tears. What she saw inside was a jewelry set unlike anything typically given to a celebrity wife. Lovely viewers, picture this. A bracelet crafted in solid rose gold, custom-shaped into two delicate intertwined heart outlines, each representing one of their newborn twins. Inside each heart was a tiny diamond shaped like a teardrop, representing the first tears their babies shed entering the world. Attached to this was a miniature charm crafted in the form of a tiny family tree with 3 branches. At the top branch, a micro-engraved L for Lee Min-ho. On the second, an H for Hye Kyo. And on the third and fourth branches, 2 tiny leaves symbolizing their twins. Every detail microscopic, every part intentional. And the necklace, oh lovely viewers, if you think the bracelet made the internet swoon, the necklace sent fans into full emotional chaos. It was designed in the shape of a mother cradling 2 infants. Minimalistic, elegant, symbolic. Nestled at the center was a tiny sapphire, the birthstone representing hope, joy, and new beginnings. But here's where it gets even more emotional. On the back of the pendant, engraved so delicately it almost shimmered like breath, was a short message. For the love you've given us twice. Song Hye Kyo reportedly whispered. It's beautiful. Min-ho. It's so beautiful. Her tears wouldn't stop, and Lee Min-ho gently wiped them with his thumb. A moment fans described as the kind of romance you only see in movies but never think could be real. He then hugged her carefully, mindful of her pain, her tenderness, every small shift in her body after the delivery. He held both twins and leaned in so she could rest her head against his shoulder. He didn't show the gift off. He didn't record it for content. He didn't want cameras. It was a moment for them. But, of course, as with any major celebrity moment, a nurse who witnessed everything simply couldn't keep it to herself. She didn't reveal private medical details. She only shared the romantic, emotional story of the gift. And the internet spun into a whirlwind of swooning, screaming, emotional shock, and full-on celebration. Fans said things like, "This is how a man shows love. No wonder she fell for him. He's setting the bar too high for the rest of us. Hye Kyo deserves nothing less. Min-ho is the blueprint." And honestly, can you blame them? The symbolism behind the gift is what truly captured hearts. It wasn't about diamonds worth millions. It wasn't about showing off wealth. It was about acknowledging her strength as a mother, honoring her journey, celebrating their twins, and recognizing that their lives had changed forever. The story didn't end in that hospital suite. In fact, that was only the beginning of a new chapter, one that became even more intimate, emotional, and deeply touching as they transitioned from the delivery room into their quiet life at home with their twins. The moment they left the hospital, Lee Min-ho made sure everything was perfect. He didn't allow chaos, he didn't allow noise, and he didn't allow even an ounce of discomfort for Song Hye Kyo. Fans later learned that he had prepared the car days in advance, installing the safest, softest twin car seats, adjusting the temperature, and ensuring the route home was carefully planned to avoid any unnecessary bumps. When he wheeled Song Hye Kyo out of the hospital, witnesses said he walked beside her like the proudest husband alive, one hand gently on her shoulder, the other ready to steady the stroller carrying their twins. And lovely viewers, if you think he was protective inside the hospital, you should have seen him once they stepped outside. His entire body shifted into guardian mode. Anyone who came close, even with good intentions, was politely but firmly kept at a respectful distance. His eyes scanned everything, cameras, people, obstacles, as if he would shield them with his life. Song Hye Kyo looked at him with this soft, grateful expression that fans later described as the look of a woman who knows she's loved beyond measure. When they finally got home, the transformation inside their mansion stunned everyone close to them. Lee Min-ho had turned their private space into a dreamy, warm, peaceful haven. He personally supervised everything. Soft lighting, white roses, the same kind he gave her on their first anniversary, fresh blankets, and a calm, soothing atmosphere. Nurses said that when Song Hye Kyo stepped inside, she paused at the doorway, overwhelmed. Not because it was luxurious, after all, they're both used to that level of comfort, but because it was intimate, thought out, designed around her peace. He had even placed a framed picture of the ultrasound from when they first discovered they were expecting twins. It sat on her bedside table with a tiny handwritten note beneath it. "We made it here together. Lovely viewers, can you imagine her heart in that moment? She reportedly whispered, "Min-ho, you did all this?" And he simply smiled and said, "You deserve even more." Their home instantly became a sanctuary of first-time parenting joy. The twins were gently carried to their nursery. You would think an interior designer handled it, but no. Lee Min-ho worked on that room personally. He painted part of the wall himself. He assembled the cradle. He hand-picked every tiny blanket, every soft stuffed toy, every star-shaped mobile that hung above the crib. He wanted their nursery to feel like a dream, a place where the twins would feel warmth, safety, and love from their very first days. And as soon as the babies were settled, his attention shifted fully back to Song Hye Kyo. Lovely viewers, this is where the continuation becomes even more heart-melting because insiders say Lee Min-ho became the definition of a devoted, present, emotionally mature partner during her postpartum healing. He didn't leave her side. He helped her walk slowly to their bedroom. He held her hand the entire time. He adjusted the pillows, checked her temperature, asked if she was comfortable. And right when she was settled into bed, he whispered, "Rest. I've got everything." And he meant it. He took charge of everything that night. The baby's feedings, diaper changes, burping them, rocking them to sleep. Nurses said he refused to rest until he knew Song Hye Kyo was comfortable enough to sleep deeply. He checked on her every few minutes, making sure she wasn't in pain, making sure she was hydrated, making sure the necklace he'd given her didn't press uncomfortably against her skin. Even when she protested softly, telling him to sleep, he shook his head and said, "I need to watch over my three treasures." Lovely viewers, are your hearts still holding together? Because we're just getting started. The most touching part of this continuation is how this experience deepened their bond in a way no romantic drama could ever portray. Parenthood didn't stress them, it strengthened them. Late at night, when the twins cried, Lee Min-ho was the first to get up. He would walk them around the room, humming soft lullabies. At one point, a nurse witnessed him singing softly to one of the twins while holding the other close to his chest. Song Hye Kyo woke up to that scene, her husband gently rocking their babies, his hair slightly messy, his voice low and tender, the soft light from the lamp illuminating him like a protective guardian in the night. She watched him silently, overwhelmed with emotion. Later, she told a friend that she fell in love with him in a completely new way in that moment. Not as a husband, not as a celebrity, but as the father of her children. And he didn't just help physically. He was emotionally present. When she experienced postpartum emotions, those sudden waves of tears, exhaustion, or vulnerability, he held her hand, wiped her tears, and reminded her that she wasn't alone. He celebrated her victories, no matter how small. The first time she stood up without support, he applauded. The first time she held both twins at once, he teared up. The first time she smiled again after a difficult night, he kissed her forehead. Lovely viewers, it was like watching a soft, real-life romance unfold in episodes only visible to the people inside their home. And the gift he gave her, the necklace and bracelet, became symbols she held onto every day. When she felt sleepy or overwhelmed, she touched the pendant. When she carried the twins to her chest, it rested between them as if connecting all four of their hearts. One evening, while sitting together on the couch with the twins asleep on their laps, she leaned her head on his shoulder and said, "You made this journey so beautiful for me." And without saying a word, Lee Min-ho intertwined their fingers. Lovely viewers, here's a detail that will make your heart flutter. He actually added another tiny detail to the gift after they got home. A week after the delivery, a jeweler discreetly arrived at their mansion. It turns out that Lee Min-ho had requested a tiny engraving to be added to the bracelet charm now that their twins had officially been born. On the back of the charm, he had the jeweler add 4 small words. "Our forever begins now." When Song Hye Kyo saw the updated engraving, she burst into tears again. She whispered, "Min-ho, how do you do this?" And he replied, "Because you gave me a family." Lovely viewers, that is the level of devotion we are talking about. This continuation also reveals how the online world reacted as more details slowly leaked. Fans were stunned. not by the luxury, but by how deeply emotional and intentional everything was. Social media erupted with comments like, "He treats her like a queen. This is the love she deserved all along. They're living a real-life fairy tale. Min-ho is setting a whole new standard for husbands." And honestly, every comment was right. Even celebrities began commenting, dropping hearts, congratulating the couple, and praising Min-ho's incredible support. But the most beautiful part of this continuation, lovely viewers, is how this experience brought Lee Min-ho and Hye Kyo closer than ever. Week after the twins were born, their home had already settled into a gentle rhythm. The babies slept peacefully in their nursery, their soft breaths filling the air like the sweetest background music. Hye Kyo was healing steadily, her strength returning day by day. And through it all, Lee Min-ho remained completely present, alert, attentive, loving, protective. She kept telling him he deserved rest, but he refused to step away from the joy and responsibility of caring for their new family. What she didn't know, lovely viewers, was that during all those days of helping with late-night feeding, warming fresh bottles, singing lullabies, and massaging her shoulders gently whenever she felt sore, Min-ho was planning something soft, meaningful, and deeply personal for her. Something that wasn't extravagant for show, but tailored to her heart alone. It happened on a quiet evening right after sunset. The twins had just fallen asleep after a feeding session, and the house was wrapped in that soft, warm calmness that only settles in homes filled with new life. Hye Kyo sat on the sofa, wrapped in a delicate pastel blanket, still wearing the necklace he gave her on the day of the delivery. She gently rocked one of the twins while humming under her breath. That's when Lee Min-ho entered the room with that shy, beautifully tender smile, the one that only appears when he's about to do something heartfelt. He said softly, "Hye Kyo, can you come with me for a moment?" She frowned playfully, half suspicious, half curious. "Where?" "You'll see," he whispered, extending his hand. Lovely viewers, the way she smiled and slipped her hand into his, tired yet open, soft yet trusting, was enough to make anyone emotional. He led her slowly, carefully down the hallway, making sure she walked comfortably. They reached the door to the backyard, and when he opened it, Hye Kyo stopped breathing for a moment. The entire backyard had been transformed into a beautiful, glowing, intimate sanctuary. No extravagance, no flashy decor, just hundreds of warm fairy lights hanging gently from the trees. Soft lanterns placed across the garden. The air smelled faintly of lavender, her favorite scent. A soft blanket had been laid out on the grass with pillows arranged neatly. A small table held freshly prepared tea and her favorite postpartum snacks. Everything was quiet, tender, private. But what made her hand fly to her mouth, lovely viewers, were the photographs. Along the garden path, pinned softly under tiny lights, were printed photos, moments captured throughout their pregnancy. Their first sonogram, the moment they learned they were having twins, her baby bump in all stages. A picture of Min-ho kissing her belly when he thought no one was looking. A picture of both of them laughing during one of their prenatal appointments.